to Mike Maccagnan, the best Jet general manager since Weeb Eubank. The Jets finally have a franchise quarterback.
Not yet.
No,
Not
they
yet.
do. I don't want to hear it, Joe. I don't want to hear it.
Let's be honest. They do.
They're going to get either Josh Rosen or Josh Allen, and they are going to be set for the next 15 years. I never, ever thought I would do this, but Mike Maccagnan, the applause sound effect goes to you, the best Jet general manager since Weeb Eubank. To hell with Bill Parcells. To hell with Terry Bradway. To hell with Mike Tannenbaum. To hell with John Idzik. In Maccagnan we trust. Oh, this was so good. Guys, to hell with an intro. Phone number 516-572-7440. Let's just get right into the trade. Joe, I really want to hear what your thoughts are.
I'm going to preface my opinion by giving you an example of a similar trade. So the Eagles traded 5 picks a couple years ago to go
Carson
from
Wentz.
number 8 to number 2, and they ended up winning a Super Bowl within a year or two later. And I like that the Jets are taking a gamble. I like that they didn't give up any future or right now first-round picks and that they just swapped the 6 for the 3. But if you're looking at it right now, like right now, the Colts are the winners of this trade. But because of the picks that they got, I think the Jets gave up a lot to go from 6 to 3. And I don't know. I think the Jets would be looking for a specific quarterback, but I don't know if they're going to get him at 3. Obviously, they wouldn't have made the move if they didn't feel that way. But now you're kind of essentially forcing the Browns to go quarterback at 1.
Yeah.
And the Giants, if they don't go quarterback, they're crazy.
I disagree with you. I don't think they're going to take a quarterback in the first round.
I see both sides.
Even before this trade, I wouldn't have liked it. If Saquon Barkley is available to you at 2, if you're the Giants, you need to take him. I mean, this guy, I tweeted this out. He's going to be Tiki Barber 2.0. He may be even better than Tiki Barber. We don't know.
I said that he has a ceiling of Franco Harris or Barry Sanders.
I like the Franco Harris comparison. I've thrown that out.
Here's my take on the Giants situation. Eric, tell me if you feel differently.
Okay.
But I feel that the Giants being at number 2, they don't want to draft this high again. They're looking to be good for a long time. Mm-hmm. And I think that not picking a quarterback at number 2 when you know Eli Manning still has time, but he may be on his way out very shortly, I feel like you can't risk the opportunity of not taking a quarterback at 2, of having the luxury to do so.
But let me ask you a question. Do you think that picking a quarterback at 2 for the Giants makes them better now?
Makes them better now? No, but you have to look at the short term and the long term. You get what I'm saying?
And the long term is Saquon Barkley. He's going to be there for the next 10 or 15 years.
But what he's talking about...
But what happens when Eli Manning leaves? That's what I'm saying.
I have the Giants picking a quarterback in the second round, whether that's Mason Rudolph, Kyle Lauletta, Luke Falk. I'm not saying the
Lamar
Giants...
Jackson.
I don't want Lamar Jackson. I don't think he's a quarterback. I think he's a running back in the next level.
Really?
I'll be honest with you.
And that's the same argument was for Tim Tebow, too.
Tebow
was more of a tight end.
Tebow I believed in a little bit more, but I'm not a Lamar Jackson fan. I totally understand the argument. I just don't subscribe to it. And I got news for you. If the Giants picked a quarterback at 2, I would be very upset.
Again, I see both sides, but we'll get into that.
We do have a caller on the line. Caller, you're on Beyond the Game.
Hi, Jacob. It's Dom.
Hey, Dominic. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. I had to call in when I heard you were talking about not just the Jets, but the Giants specifically, because I think with the Jets making this trade just helps them get Saquon Barkley even more. I think that
helps the Jets get it? Oh, the Giants.
Okay. Giants get Barkley.
You just scared the living mercy out of me.
No, don't worry. Don't you worry.
Oh, my gosh.
But I think that the Browns are now looking at it this way. I think they have to take a quarterback at 1 simply because I think they're going to want their guy, and they're going to have to realize that now with possibly drafting Barkley at 1, they wouldn't be able to get their quarterback at 4 because, the Jets are up there and they might take him, whoever, they're thinking about. So I think the Browns will be taking a quarterback at 1, no matter who it is. It could be Darnold, Allen, Baker, Rosen, whoever the case.
I think it's
one of those 4 guys.
I think it's going to be Mayfield just because Scott McCloughan is a consultant for the Browns for this draft, and Scott McCloughan is supposedly the president of the Baker Mayfield fan club.
Yeah, I remember you saying that on Friday. So, look, that's definitely possible, but I think that's going to force them to take a quarterback at 1. And then, obviously it's there for the Giants. I mean, I I think it would be, I agree with you, Jacob. I think it would be dumb to pass up on Barkley. I understand everyone's, reasoning, if you're a Giants fan or just an analyst, to say why the Giants should be taking a quarterback. But I think right now, Barkley is a type of guy that will be able to change a franchise. You look at it with the running backs drafted in the higher rounds, more recently in the past years with Gurley, Fournette, and Elliott. If I'm forgetting anyone, I don't think I am. But
no, you got it.
You got Gurley, too.
Yeah. Well, I said Gurley.
Oh, duh.
But, come on, Eric.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Come on. Dominic's better than you, Eric. You should know that. That's why Dominic runs the phone when both of you are here.
I don't have a problem with that. It gives me an off day.
But going back again, I think, the Giants, I feel like he was, thrive in New York. And especially, with the Giants, they got some offensive line help, obviously, this offseason. I think, they could be in the right direction. And people are saying Eli has 2 years. So, if he really does have 2 years, then there's no reason to take a quarterback right now. I really don't think so.
I agree with you 100%, Dominic. Let Mason Rudolph, Kyle Lauletta, Luke Falk, Mike White, whoever you want, develop under Eli Manning. Let him learn under Pat Shurmur. Let him watch Eli for 2 whole years, and then you've got your answer.
Exactly. And, excuse me, go ahead. Do you want to go ahead? Or?
No, go ahead, Dominic. You're the caller. I actually have to...
abide.
Be nice to me,
I have to abide by you. Yeah. I don't like this.
No, but, you also have to realize, don't forget about the second round. They're picking high in the second round, I believe.
Mm-hmm. So...
You still have the option of possibly Mason Rudolph if he falls out of the first round. Even Lamar Jackson. I know some people aren't a fan
Not a quarterback.
of him. Yeah, I know. I understand. But
Dom, let me ask you, because I know you're a huge Jets fan, and I really want to get your opinion on the Jets situation in this draft.
Sure.
Where do you think the Jets go from here?
Well, I think they're definitely going to quarterback. I don't think you trade up that many picks and just to draft somebody else in terms of a different position. Actually, if they drafted anything else than a quarterback, I'd be pretty upset.
Who do you want?
That's
the
question.
Yeah.
I personally want Baker Mayfield. I'm a huge Baker Mayfield fan, but here's the thing. If we were to draft Josh Rosen instead, I'm not crying. I'm very happy.
Rosen's my guy.
But you don't think Mayfield would be available at number 6? I think if they were to trade up to 3 just to secure Mayfield, I feel that's like a really questionable decision.
I don't think he makes it past 5 at that point, because remember, Denver was still at 5.
Mm-hmm.
The rumor is that McCagnon doesn't like Mayfield. Realize Baker Mayfield is a small quarterback at only 6 feet
Russell
tall.
Wilson.
Yeah, he's Russell Wilson, and McCagnon doesn't like to draft those type of guys. You take a look at the quarterbacks that McCagnon does like Christian Hackenberg. They're the prototypical passer.
Big body, big arm.
They're the pocket guys, and that's why Josh Rosen or Josh Allen will be the pick at 3. And I gotta be honest with you, I'm starting to like Josh Allen a lot more. I wouldn't be upset if he was a Jet, but I'm on the Josh Rosen train. I really like him.
So I just want to...
look, if they draft Rosen, I'm all for it. Just to have that franchise quarterback, hopefully. I don't want to get too ahead of myself saying,
I do.
All right, it doesn't matter.
I'm doing it now, Dominic. I've been waiting for this for a long time. The Jets finally have their answer at quarterback. They
so
really
do. But I just want to just take it easy because you never know. The bust option could still be there.
Todd Bowles is still head coach. Anything is possible.
Very true.
All right, Dominic, thanks for the call, buddy.
No problem.
All right. Dominic Arbolino, you got to love him.
He had some good points. He really did.
He did have some good points.
But I just want to jump on something here because obviously, Jacob, you have your opinion saying that Baker Mayfield is going to go 1 to the Browns. And I do agree. I know I was a little quiet. I took a step back and I was listening. And all you have good points here because now
even if Mayfield is available, I want Josh Rosen. I just want to make that clear.
That's fine. Mm-hmm. That's perfectly fine because Mayfield is of the smaller stature of quarterbacks, which, is fine. Like Russell Wilson's that way.
Rosen, Mayfield, Allen is my order.
Is your 1, 2, 3?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. But this kind of forces the Browns' hand.
It really does.
And
it works out perfectly for the Giants.
But here's the thing. I totally see both sides of where the Giants could possibly go. I see the reason why they would potentially want to pick a quarterback. I see it. But I totally understand why you want to get Saquon Barkley because Pat Shurmur and Dave Gettleman, even Mike Shula, who was the offensive coordinator, but he's like
the right hand.
I
forgot about him.
Yeah, right? Because you forget that Shurmur's still going to call the plays on the offensive side. But they want to squeeze as much as they can out of Eli Manning. And everybody forgets, you still have Davis Webb. But the problem in here that lies, we have no idea what Davis Webb is.
The thing is, Davis Webb was picked by the old regime.
Yes, the Jerry Reese regime.
So there's no way that Gettleman and Shermer are going to give him the time of day. They're going to want their own guy.
Right.
New regimes mean new quarterbacks.
And I understand that. And look, you can attest more than anyone. At first, months ago, I wanted Josh Rosen.
Yes.
Months ago. Now it's shifting to Saquon Barkley because I'm going to tell you why.
I was always on the Barkley train.
Obviously, you can strike gold anywhere. Like in the second round for running backs, you have Alvin Kamara, who was, not even the second round, just like later rounds. Alvin
Look
Kamara.
Look at Kareem Hunt for the Chiefs. He
exactly.
was fourth round.
The Derek Carrs of the world
exactly.
and quarterbacks.
Yeah. And
Tom Brady, sixth round.
Yeah, exactly. And quarterbacks, Derek Carr, Dak Prescott, Tom Brady, you can strike gold anywhere. The thing that I'm just want to know is this going to be the right guy? They are obviously saying the number 2 pick means high hopes. We want to see you in Canton one day. And I think Saquon Barkley can be that.
Yeah.
I really do. I truly think that Saquon Barkley has a Barry Sanders ceiling. I truly think that if Barkley's a Giant come April, like late April, he's going to hold all the records for Giants rushers.
You know, I got news for you. I don't like putting these high expectations on these young guys, but I am so firmly in the Barkley camp that I don't honestly blame you. I think Saquon Barkley is going to be an excellent player.
I have high hopes for him. I think he can be very well. I think he can be very good. Disregarding like the Penn State running back thing, look, things are made to be broken, and Saquon Barkley is going to break that trend of Penn State running backs not being that good.
Yeah.
But I just want to touch on something else. I want to touch on the Jets specifically.
Good.
Obviously, well, yeah, you're welcome.
We're listening.
Obviously, the Browns are going to pick a quarterback, but we don't know who that is. For the longest time, it's been Sam Darnold. Let's say they do pick Baker Mayfield. The Giants pick Saquon Barkley. Sam Darnold and Josh Rosen are on the board at 3.
I don't like Darnold in the first round. I really don't. I am not sold on Sam Darnold. I think he'd have been better off staying in school. He's a project. That's what scares me about Sam Darnold to the Jets. Todd Bowles is not a good coach. Jeremy Bates only has 1 year of being an offensive coordinator under his belt before this year. I don't trust them to mold Sam Darnold because he's going to need to get a lot of seasoning. Josh Rosen, you can put in right away, and he's going to be a very good quarterback.
You know, a long time ago, even when the Giants were set firm on picking number 2, that was when it was cemented. At the time, I wouldn't have been mad if they picked Darnold.
I'm just not a Darnold fan. Again, he'd have been better off staying at school because I know it is way too early to look at 2019. I get that. But if he'd have stayed in school and come out next year, the best quarterback available next year is Drew Lock out of Missouri. Sam Darnold is a better prospect than Drew Lock.
There's the only place to go is up for him. He could only hurt. Not.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Just talk. I can't talk right now.
No, but the thing is, I think Sam Darnold can work in the NFL. Obviously, he's a good quarterback. He just can't start right away. You need to put him somewhere.
And when you're a first-round pick, you don't have that luxury of sitting. You need to be able to play right away. This school of picking players in the first round just to let them marinate on the bench, I hate it.
That's why they were giving so much heat to Jared Goff.
Yeah, 100%. And listen, I was part of that heat. I wanted Goff to start over Keenum right away.
I did too.
They did a very good job developing him.
They really did.
And now look at where they are.
Yeah, I mean, give Sean McVay a ton of credit. Jared Goff would have been nothing if Jeff Fisher had stayed there, but Sean McVay did a very, very good job with him.
I truly think, and I asked you that for a reason, I do think the Jets are going to pick Rosen. I really do, which I'm pretty sure makes both of you very happy. I can see Darnold going to Denver.
Ooh, Darnold to Denver. Let me think about that.
Because there's no pressure over there.
Not over Josh Allen. I can't see it. Not over Josh Allen. Josh Allen is just the better player than Sam Darnold.
Let me ask you something. Do you think, I feel that before the Jets moved up to 3, we obviously knew that the Colts were probably going to trade out. I would be surprised if the Jets hadn't reached out to the Giants for the number 2 and that they presumably said no.
We said that on Friday.
And I'm not saying that the Giants said we're not going quarterback or we're picking this guy, but the Jets might have had a hunch on the Giants are going to go with Barkley, so that if they do, there'll only be one quarterback off the board, and then they have more of an option than being quarterback, and the Jets going quarterback. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. Here's the one thing I'm going to say. Hold on, Eric. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
The 2 quarterbacks I've seen linked to the Browns the most are Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. And if I'm McCagnon, I'm looking at those 2 guys and I'm saying, Good. I don't want either one of those guys. We don't need to trade up to 2 because Saquon Barkley is going to be a